live and local, with coverage you can count on. This is WNAM TV 5 News at 6.
The U.S. now has more than 24,000 cases of COVID-19, with at least 285 deaths from the coronavirus. Today, Vice President Mike Pence says coronavirus testing is being ramped up nationwide, with more than 195,000 tests administered so far. The latest updates from the state report 238 new cases today of COVID-19 in Michigan, with 2 new deaths. The state website reports a total of 787 cases and 5 dead. 6 patients are confirmed in Genesee and 1 in Saginaw, Clare, and Tuscola counties. Oakland County now closing all shopping malls, playgrounds, and requiring child care centers to develop daily screenings for children, staff, and parents. Areas with walking trails and grassy areas are exempt. The orders are effective until April 17th, 2020. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jamie Sherrod. CBS News correspondent Michael George has the latest from New York, where President Trump has declared a disaster for the state.
President Trump has approved a disaster declaration for New York State.
This is the first time in our nation's history that a president's used the Stafford Act to declare a major disaster in response to a public health crisis.
The designation opens the way for billions of dollars in emergency federal aid to be sent to one of the states hardest hit by the coronavirus. President Trump said other parts of the country, such as California, may also receive disaster aid. New York, California, Illinois, Connecticut, and Oregon are all taking measures to restrict residents' movements outside their homes. The nation's top infectious disease expert says mitigation efforts are working, but it's hard to say how well.
We know we are clearly having an effect, but we can't quantitate it for you accurately now.
On Capitol Hill, senators are spending the weekend trying to finalize details of a $1 trillion economic stimulation package. The bipartisan bill includes relief for small businesses, loans to impacted industries, and direct cash payments to individuals based on income and family size. Joanne Imwali is a nurse at a hospital near Sacramento. She goes into the rooms of patients who have infectious diseases, such as the coronavirus.
We're coming in and taking care of patients that have something that's infectious that we could actually get and potentially die from.
Healthcare workers are facing a critical shortage of masks. Vice President Pence, who's leading the White House task force, says masks are being prioritized to areas in greatest need. He urged companies and dentists to donate masks to hospitals. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Vice President Pence says he and his wife will be tested for the coronavirus after a staff member tested positive. Well, new tonight, an advocacy group led by healthcare professionals calling for a national shelter in place as the best strategy to slow the rapid spread of the coronavirus. The Committee to Protect Medicare requesting the order in a letter to the Trump administration, highlighting the national shortage of critical medical supplies and the risk of overwhelmed hospitals. The letter said in part, on the current trajectory, we expect to receive large numbers of patients in a very short period. Adding, without action, our healthcare system will not have the time to mobilize the necessary actions to effectively confront COVID-19. The committee states a growing consensus among healthcare workers to slow the spread of the virus is to implement a national shelter in place. Well, Secretary of State offices will return to regular weekday hours starting Monday. All 131 branch offices will remain open from 9 to 5 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 11 to 7 on Wednesday, and closed on Saturday. During this time, in-person transactions will continue by appointment with critical services. That's including driver's license and state ID transactions, first-time and CDL license renewal, title transfers for motor vehicles only. Vehicle registration renewals and many other transactions can be done online. A new policy is announced today to protect a vulnerable population in mid-Michigan. TV5's Jonathan Jackson speaking to a local sheriff about the new restrictions at a county jail.
Today, Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson announcing how they'll be handling procedures here at the Genesee County Jail during this coronavirus pandemic.
Because we have a population that we can't displace, we have to protect them so we don't have an epidemic with inside. an epidemic.
To prevent the spread of the coronavirus, Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson is taking all manner of precautions for both his staff and the inmates at the Genesee County Jail, announcing in a press conference that they've started a deep cleaning of the jail, which includes sanitizing on all floors and temperature testing for all staff and inmates.
We're screening everybody. We're making sure that everybody, myself included, is given a temperature reading every day when they report to duty. Even if they're reporting outside this place, they come down here the first hour in order to get their temperature taken.
And the same goes for visitors to the jail, such as Pastor Derek Aldridge, who comes there to talk with the inmates.
The jail is practicing social distancing all throughout every floor that we went. There was cleaning going on.
And Sheriff Swanson says he plans to continue allowing visitations during this crisis, so long as certain precautions are followed.
We have not stopped our inmate visitation. People can come here. We're still screening. There's a video phone visitation, still practicing that distance where we are. So it doesn't matter if they're indigent or they have money on their books. They can make those phone calls and rest assured.
In Genesee County, Jonathan Jackson, WNEM TV 5.
Thank you, Jonathan. Tomorrow, Attorney General Dana Nessel and state lawmakers will answer calls from the Consumer Protection Tip Line due to the high volume of complaints related to price gouging and the coronavirus pandemic. The tip line will be open from noon until 5 tomorrow. Well, developing tonight, local police looking for a suspect after a man was shot in Bay County. The Bay City Department of Public Safety says they received reports of shots fired today, just before 1 a.m. in the area of Garfield Avenue and 16th Street. Officers were then called to a business on Euclid Avenue where a man was found suffering from a gunshot wound. The 33-year-old Saginaw resident was transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Anyone with information on the shooting is asked to call the Bay City Department of Public Safety or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-5245. Well, clear skies today as we take a live look over mid-Michigan. Conditions will remain calm overnight, but temperatures will continue to drop. Meteorologist John Gross tracking our forecast. Hi there, John.
Yeah, hey, Jamie. The sun finally did come out earlier this afternoon, and it's been pretty chilly. Temperatures in the 30s. Looks like we'll be seeing some cooler numbers once again tonight, but that sunshine definitely nice and bright out there this evening. Live look over Birch Run, I-75 to show we have clear skies, and I'll be sticking around at least for about another half hour or so before sunset right around 7:30. Current temperatures out the door of a good mix of the 20s and the 30s. We look to dip down into the teens tonight. Here's a look at your sky tracker, still being influenced by that area of high pressure. However, by this time tomorrow, we will be tracking out the chance for some snow showers coming on in Sunday night, Monday morning. No problems for the rest of tonight. Temperatures down into the mid-20s. We'll talk about that snow coming up here in just a little bit.
Thank you, John. Well, a massive reduction in services for a major airline. Still ahead, the adjustment coming to American Airlines next month. Plus, changes to the application to become a lawyer in the state. How they're addressing the mental health of applicants coming up.